Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 10 of the Western Wilds. Well, as you can see, the rain's quit, time's passed, and I can get out and get some of this new field cut. As I said before, I think I'm only going to cut probably the outside of it for now, get some more swaths ready to pick up with the machine. I'll probably rent that same big pickup unit that I used last time to make this really quick, and that way I'm not spending all day trying to get this done. Cutting outside of my boundary here, trying to stay within the boundary to make it easier to create a field later. It's a lot easier when the grass is all cut down, and it's a lot easier to figure out where your boundaries are. Anybody who plays the game knows. I'm gonna have to look into probably getting course play to make straight lines and stuff when I'm doing this. It's just something I've never really used before. Strange things, new things sometimes scare a guy. So I don't know. Well, I'm gonna have to look into GPS. I would like to have nice straight lines when I'm creating fields, and it's just I prefer it. A lot of guys say, hey, not every field is straight and everything. Yeah, I know, I get it. I just like straight fields because I like to use workers. There's something to be said about just letting a worker do his job and watching from the sidelines, relaxing, getting other things done on the farm while they're doing that. And speaking of the farm, some big changes. Those guys have been just giving her with those big machines. I think I've seen those cats pretty much a steady line. I don't know where they're hauling the dirt to, but I've seen them coming out of the yard and everything. And boy, those little machines get up and boogie for what they are. I really thought they'd be a lot slower. I've never driven one, so I can't say for sure. But for as big and cumbersome as they look, they can sure get moving. The guys definitely got some damn good operators because they're busy as bees over there. They've already got the new slurry tank in by the cow barn. The guys are here doing the fencing. As you can see, our money's really dropped from where we were. I've spent almost $750,000 on a few pieces of equipment, but most of that costing, believe it or not, has gone into having everything redone here, doing all the new, buying the field for one, was 100 of it. Buying the cow shed, but I bought something else. I called the guys that did up the cow shed, asked them if they had something for another animal, and turns out they have another prefab kit, very easy to put up, and that'll be up within the next day and a half. So we're gonna have one type of animal before winter hits. Basically, I want to get sheep. Now, sheep over the winter is where their wool grows the best, so that you can cut them down in the spring. So we're getting sheep. Listening to those old timers saying, get a minimum of 100, or get a minimum of this, get a minimum of that. I don't know if I'm quite ready for that. These pens that I got are quite large. They're capable of holding a fair amount of animals. But till I can get everything situated, I'm starting small. I'm going to start maybe with 20 of each. And if things go well next year in the spring, maybe I'll increase that to having a few more. If I've got, if everything's going well and and I find I can manage the time, maybe I will take the advice of the old timers and pick it up a notch and get get 100 of each. Again, gonna depend on money, because it's dwindling. I came here with close to 1.9 mil in the bank. That included me selling everything I had, my acreage, blah, blah, blah. You guys know that story. I've already told you. I don't know. Being down at 1.1 mil, almost 1.2. I'm starting to get a little worried. I know that animals aren't cheap, and I still have a lot of equipment to buy. I discussed it when I was doing some fields last time about how maybe I'm just gonna lease a combine this year, but you never know what's gonna happen with the store. You know what? Speaking of the store, it's after 3, and that's the time they update their web page. They update it in I believe 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. Let's just take a quick peek, see if maybe there's something that we might be interested in. Well, no, nothing in the update. There's still just those 2. So we'll check it again before we hit bed, but as far as I know, they said they updated at 9 and then they updated at 3. But who knows? Like, I mean, farmer shows up at 4 in the afternoon and says, hey, I'm going to trade this off. They may update their page, or somebody says, you know what, I'm done with farming. It is October. Guys are combining and harvesting their fields right now. So maybe when they're done, they say, you know what, it's time to hang up the boots and sell off some equipment. Or maybe they're buying a new combine and just decide to get rid of the old one. That's what I'm hoping for. But until that time, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. I got impatient and I put fields in the ground because I'm worried about money. I know you only live once, you only spend it once. But, you still need to live. And, well, I may not be a spring chicken, but I still got a ways to go. Besides that, the more I can get done here, you never know. Maybe my son, who's still up north, might want to come down and take it over, or, getting left a farm. And that was a weird feeling. It's not something I really ever expected. But if I can build up a decent enough equity in the farm, maybe he could be looked after for the rest of his life too. Well, maybe not the rest of his life, but he might have a nice little retirement egg and want to run down here and half retire on this farm. Yeah, lots of things can happen. Maybe I'll find love out here. Yeah, right. Anyway, it is what it is. So I'm just gonna get this field mowed up. And like I said, I'm going to merge the fields. I'm gonna do. Because I've got the other field there, I think I might turn that field into grass because we can still plant that this year and have it ready for next year for doing silage and everything else. And I think I might turn this field into two fields. A big field for a bumper crop and a smaller field for, you know, so, or maybe I might cut it in half so we can alternate from a cereal to a oilseed crop, just going back and forth. This is actually a really nice field. It's fairly level. It's definitely not in as bad a shape as the 3 fields I was left. The gopher holes definitely aren't as bad. So I don't know. I got a lot of planning to do here. I really like the idea of a grass field over there in that narrow field that the county road runs right halfway through it, and the other half is my farmyard. So that kind of making that into a grass field is really a no-brainer. And then leaving this one, which is going to be a fairly big field, if I keep it as one, as my bumper crop, be it canola, soybean, or something like that. But you do have to do some crop rotation. So, you know, at one point this is going to end up being a cereal crop, and it is a big field. It's going to take me a while to. Well, it depends on what I lease for a combine. I'm already looking that we've got. I thought about getting something like the 6600 or the 9 or the couple of. I might get 2 6600 so I can do 2 fields at once. I can hire John or one of the other guys that's now been around to see if I have any work for them. So there's no shortage of workers. We can definitely do that. I don't know. Sitting in the damn tractor when you're doing this, it's kind of a tedious job, but you have so much time to think. My mind just goes squirrel. I'll start on one thing and be thinking of a completely different thing in 10 minutes, so you never know. For now, just gonna get this field cut, pick up all this grass, hay, do want to make some of this field hay. So I think at the end of this road, I'm going to stop, go grab the pottinger, and yeah, I think that's a good plan. I'm going to stop, go grab the pottinger, pick up all this grass that's here. I'm going to keep the front mower on just for weight. But it looks like I've done about half the field already. So if I do half grass and the other half hay, I'm going to have a fair amount of both. Now I've already got all the grass that we cut. Some of it's hay, some of it's grass. But if I'm gonna have sheep, that's a lot of grass I'm gonna need. And if I'm gonna make silage, that's a lot of grass I'm gonna need. Just show you this quick. Ran into the fence, lovely. While the guys were waiting for things to dry, they came over and cleaned up all the nails and everything from this shed. The guy actually showed up early, so the old barn's gone, the tractor's gone, the dealer picked it up. The old barn's tore down. He came with about 10 guys, and they were in and out in 3 hours. It was just amazing. He took all those old barrels and stuff. I didn't really ask him about any of the... I didn't ask any of the guys that were here if they know any of the old gold stories around here. While the guy was here, he offered to take down the pole barn as well. Damn it, I did it again. Oh, I'm gonna have to mow some of this down over here, get rid of some of these bushes, so I can sneak in and out. So as soon as those guys were done, the guys brought the front land loader over with some of the gravel that they brought, because I'm putting new gravel in the yard. They came over and they put all the new gravel down and cleaned up all the nails and loose sticks and everything that were laying there. So that's all cleaned up now, which is nice. The yard's really starting to look nice. One set of guys is doing the digging. One guy's, or 3 guys are running around and with those big cat trucks, back and forth with the old dirt and everything else that they're peeling out of the ground. Now, should I be over there watching for gold nuggets? I don't think that's a good idea. It's all I need is for somebody to see a bunch of them. If they find gold in that dirt, I imagine he's going to sift through it, and you know, it's no big secret that there's gold in the area, and this gentleman's lived here most of his life. So if that's the case, then I don't have access to this land. I must have gone too far. So I'm not going to get all the grass, but I'll get some of it. I mean, we get a fair amount out of these fields, I'll tell you. That one I did for the county, we got just about 600,000 liters of grass out of that. And then, we got just about, I don't remember now. It was just about $700,000 out of my fields, or 700,000 liters, sorry, out of the fields that I've already cut, mowed, and seeded now, or turned into fields, whatever you want to call it. I just got no words. But it is what it is. So I got a fair amount of grass to turn into silage. But silage doesn't last long when you're feeding a bunch of cows, because to make TMR you need silage, you need hay, and you need straw. Now, all else fails, I guess I could buy a load of straw bales and get the TMR mixer up and running. Because I do have lots of grass, and I do have some hay. That hay that I made up in the other field there, I think that was close to 400,000. That's why I want to do half this field as hay. Now I could, having 700,000 worth of grass to turn into silage. I know straw is more of a filler, and you need a lot more silage and hay than you do straw when you mix it. But I don't want to run short either. But I won't run short this year. But how long is silage good? Some of the guys I've been talking to say it's good for 3 years. Some guys say 2 years. All depends on who you talk to. So I want to say you're good for a maximum of 2 years. Kind of split it somewhat down the middle. And if I can use all the silage in 2 years, that means the new silage, excuse me, I can be changing out my silage every 2 years. Now, again, I've never played with this TMR, but we did have our farm up north, and I know hay bales can last 5-6 years. So, hey, I'm not too worried about. We can deal with that. I don't know why it won't let me get this little bit of grass here. Just want to pick up as much as I can. That stuff I understand. That's not my land. And what I didn't do when I bought this Pottinger up at the shop is I did not get it fixed first. So it needs some repairs, and looks like my mowers are down a bit, and so's my John Deere. I'm up to 4 hours already, or sorry, 15 hours if you want the truth, because I had a bunch of hours, but I reset it when I moved down here so I knew what I could put on it. But, if you look down on the old hour meter since it's been reset, we've got 4 hours on this bad boy. It's a fair amount of work. It's not crazy, but we all know you get these units up to 40-50 hours on them, and it starts to get expensive on repairs to the point where it's almost worth to buy a new one instead of fixing. Do I agree with that? No, because you can always rebuild them and make them more reliable and everything, but just the way they set things up anymore, everything's kind of a toss away. Use it for 5 years or something and get rid of it for a new one. Just some things in these generations I don't quite comprehend, I guess. Too old school in some things. But so if you just want to bear with me for a while, I'll bring you back once I'm done picking this up and I start mowing for or get this field finished mowing and then start tedding. There's a lot of work to be done, and we're going to be losing daylight here. I don't think I'm going to get this all mowed today, so maybe I'll make hay tomorrow. That way the grass isn't sitting overnight getting a bunch of moisture in it. It dries up faster when it's not mowed, so maybe I'll wait till tomorrow and finish mowing this field and getting the hay in, because even after tedding it, mowing it, it still needs to make sure that it's not too wet or we'll end up with silage instead of hay. But as I was saying, as for straw, I'm probably not going to be able to make my own until I combine the 3 fields that we did, barley and wheat. So I may have to take the truck up to the animal dealer and get a load of hay bales if I don't have enough, and a load of straw bales. Straw bales are pretty cheap. Hay is not bad, so but with the amount of hay I'm hoping to have off this field and what I've already made and have sitting in the granary up at the shop that I'm renting space on, I think I should be all right. But we'll see. I don't know for sure. The animal dealer said that they can deliver the sheep. They've got a shipment coming in tomorrow as well. They said they can do anywhere from 20 to 50 sheep tomorrow if I really want to get into sheep that quick. So, we might get our sheep tomorrow. Sheep are pretty easy to deal with. They need grass. As you can see, I got 144,000 in this trailer already. So grass, I'm good. I think I'll be good with the grass. I'm not too worried about that. I think I can take care of the sheep. So I'll just keep you with me for a little bit longer here and yak your ear off and give you some rundown of what else is going on. Now, I took a run back over to the grocery store before I started mowing, and I went and picked up some groceries for the night and stuff, and saw a few things in the paper or on the wanted board or billboard, whatever you want to call it. I might. There's the sawmill is looking. It's got an ad that they need a bunch of wood. I might strike up a deal with the sawmill here, and if I can borrow a trailer or something to load all those logs. So I don't think the front end loader on this is going to be heavy enough for logs. I'll load up all the logs that we have in the yard and in the field where the cow pen is, and we'll get all the logs over there, get some of that productions going. I don't know how much they pay for wood or what the going rate is or what kind of deal we can strike with them, but we'll come up with something that's beneficial to both of us. What else I read while I was there on that little board is there is a carpentry place not far from the sawmill. Well, a couple of younger guys are running it, but they're struggling. They're looking for an investor. It's slow out here. I get it. But because the sawmill's slow, they can't get their wood either. so they can make furniture and I guess I looked at the furniture that they have posted at the store and stuff. You got to pick it up there. You can't, you know, it's nice looking furniture. It's fairly sturdy built. I like how they can palletize it and you bring it home, grab the old screwdriver and build it. But the quality and the fit and the finishes there, it ain't no IKEA stuff, let me tell you. This is like buying from a woodworker that's been doing it for ever and a day. It's really good quality. Um, so they're looking for an investor or so, it's $20,000 is what they're looking for in an investor, which would give me 15% of the company. Wait, they said $20,000 buys you about 15% of the company. That's what they got on their ad anyway. But I don't know how that works. I'm I, I'm smart, but I ain't that smart. I would have to have my lawyer look at it and see what everything equates to, which isn't a big deal. If we could get into something like that, um, that might be all right. Now they say they're slow, because there's furniture just sells better at certain times of the year. Well, I guess when they have their slow times is when they struggle, is when they can't sell unless they're getting really crappy prices. Well, from the look of the furniture and fitment stuff that I see, I can see why they wouldn't want to sell when it's a crappy price when they can get top dollar at certain times out of the year. It's kind of like farming. You're super fat with cash sometimes of the year. The next time of the year, you're siphoning gas out of one truck to stick in another. It can go either way, or get a crop that fails. Anything. So there's always that chance. That's why there's farmers insurance. Anything can happen. Let's get this over to the side of the field. Wow, this day is just flying by. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm losing more daylight every time I turn around here. Um, just take this over to the yard, drop it off. I'll come back over here, hook the mower on, and continue mowing this field. I don't foresee me getting this other field in. Um, haven't heard about that plow yet. It's still sitting there. Um, we'll have to see. I don't know. I'm really liking how the yard looks now with all the new gravel and everything everywhere. Um, I'm not taking you out back. Those guys are still busy working. Don't need to show y'all the big holes and everything in the yard. I don't really want to bug these guys. Anything can happen. I could just be in the way. And like I said, the fact that they came over here and started over here first, I think I'll just leave them to do their business. When they're done, they're done. They've already been paid. Uh, as you can see by the low amount of money that's there. Uh, so I'm gonna, looking at my time here, I'm gonna go hook up to the old mower, and then I think I'm gonna call this one an episode for you guys today. Um, We're pushing that 35-minute mark already. I didn't realize how fast and how long it takes to mow this field. Oh, I went the wrong way because the mower is way down at the other end. Oh well. After I mow it, I still have to ted everything, so no matter what, I'll be doing a few more hours in this field for sure. Like I said, I just hope this is enough hay to get me started on some silage or some TMR. I would like to have a fair amount of TMR on hand before the cows get here. I don't want to have to rent a trailer and bring it down. That's, we already know how expensive it is up at the shop. I get it, it's convenience. The closest other place where I can get my bulk fertilizer and stuff is about an hour away. So, I don't know. Now, I did talk to them about putting in a bulk buy unit down here at my place. And they said that with me being this far away, can't necessarily say I'm going to really save anything in what I'm paying at the small town shop here. So I might just have to bite the bullet and just pay the prices here for now. But I'm going to talk to the shop and see if I put one of their bulk units on my farm where they come fill it up once a month if I get a better discount, because we tried buying the bulk the one day and it really wasn't working with my planter, and it was just not cool. But I'll tell you, man, you look at this scenery. Look at the trees, the way the sun is setting. This is just, you really got to take a picture here. But I'm going to turn off the maps first. And that just looks fantastic. It's F12. I don't know. I just like how this looks. I think it looks great. The orange color in the trees. The sunset. Big windmill in the back. I can't say enough how much I'm enjoying this map and everything. It's just amazing. Okay, well, I think that's enough for this episode. Again, help me out, guys. Give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe. Let me know what you're thinking, how you think the farm is progressing. Is it fast enough, or do I got to get it in gear? Any information can definitely help me out, guys. With that being said, I am going to leave it here. I think tomorrow morning I'm going to get out here, get this finished cutting, or I might cut some more yet tonight and get it tedded so that the morning we can just pick up the hay. So with that being said, without going squirrel again, I'm going to bid you all a good night, and we will talk to you in episode 11 of the Western Wilds. Have a good night, folks. Peace.